And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday. I hope everybody's having a good day. No cooking segment today because I'm still waiting for one video cable, and in order to get everything to work the way it should be working. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow, if the cable arrives today, then I'll be able to do the cooking segment tomorrow, which will be fun because I have a lot of fun ideas this week for recipes to try and hopefully not mangle too badly. But I want to know how everybody is doing. I hope everyone had a great weekend. If you're new here, I do see your comments in the viewfinder here, so go ahead and say hello. And if you do, let me know where in the world you're watching from, because that's the fun part about doing live stream versus just making videos, is being able to actually interact with the audience and know where they're watching from. And that's the fun part about the internet, is being able to connect with people who are a lot of times not even where you think they are, which is great. And good morning, Charles. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you're doing well today. Sorry for all the sniffling. My allergies are still going nuts. It's just one of those things. But this time of year, I do not like spring. For Karina, my wife, it's the opposite. Her allergies seem to go crazy in autumn rather than spring. So autumn is my favorite season, and it's her least favorite because of her allergies. So, and good morning, Sean. Hope you're doing well, sir. So yeah, no cooking segment. Still waiting for one of my cables to show up. Amazon was supposed to have it here yesterday. It's not Amazon's fault. The post office has it somewhere between Sacramento and Reno, I think, is the last update I had on there. So yeah, hopefully it'll be here today, so that I can get everything set up tonight for tomorrow's show. And tomorrow I can do the cooking segment, which is really starting to become my favorite thing to do here on this. Yeah, I'm really enjoying learning how to cook and trying out these different recipes. There's one that I'm going to do this week that's a Szechuan cold noodle recipe that I'm going to adapt, just because one of the key ingredients I don't think most people have in their pantry, so I'm going to adapt the recipe for the cold Szechuan noodles. Good morning. How's my quarantine day going? Regulus. I hope I didn't mangle the name there. Sorry about that. My quarantine day is going okay so far, other than my allergies, which are freaking killing me because it's April, which means Ken is dying and Ken is barely functioning without Benadryl. And Benadryl, even Claritin, even the so-called non-drowsy antihistamines tend to want to knock me out. So I have two options in the springtime. I either suffer through it, or I take medication that tends to knock me out, which I hate losing my day to that. Thank you. I'm glad you like the setup. The light strip in the background is from a company called LifeX, and we really like their lights. Their app sucks. It's horrible. Even they've just recently redesigned it, and it's still bad. The lights themselves are fun and less expensive than, say, the setups you can get from Philips, the Philips Hue set, which requires you to buy like $150 bridge that connects into your router. LifeX you can just use without buying a bridge. How much is it? The light strips, we have 2 of them, and I believe they cost, depending on where you get them, about $70 for the strip, which, considering you don't also have to buy a bridge in order to use it like you do with the Philips, it's not bad for basically home decor. I mean, it's not nobody needs colored lights, and I'm the first to admit that, but we really love them. You can do all sorts of fun things. You can make your own scenes with them and mix your own colors on the strips. Yeah, so they're fun. Again, it just depends on where you get them as to how much they cost. There seems to be quite the disparity depending on the website you buy them on. They have a bunch of fun lighting stuff that if money were no object for us, we would be decorating the heck out of our place with them. But thank you. I'm glad you like them. They're fun. Okay, so excellent quality camera. It's a proper setup though. Wow, thank you. The camera, believe it or not, is not a DSLR. It's my iPhone XR. And the reason it looks so good, I think, is just the fact that I have a lot of light. iPhones actually tend to be really good for streaming if you have enough light. The sensor is small enough that it really does need a lot of light in order to have a crisp image. But if you do that, then yeah, they look pretty good for the streaming. iPhone is good for filmmaking too. I used to do a lot of videos when this channel was called something else. It was called Don't Punish Pain, and it made a lot of chronic illness videos. And yeah, I've always shot either with my iPad Pro or my iPhone, and the quality on the videos has always been outstanding. So yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And yeah, just for a general photography camera, they're pretty good too. So if you're just joining in and this is your first time watching, let me know where you're watching from, Regulus. I'd love to know, because I love knowing where my audience, all 6 people that watch me, is watching from. Normally, I share, good news stories that I find from around the internet. I was hoping to do my cooking segment today, and I'm still waiting for a cable to show up, so I'm not going to do that today. So I'm kind of caught off guard. I don't really have anything as a backup, so what I thought I might do is, one of my favorite authors is Neil Gaiman, and if you're familiar with his works, either the Good Omens book that he co-wrote with Terry Pratchett, or Neverwhere is another popular book of his. He also did a book of short stories called Trigger Warning, and I love his stories. And there's one particular short story that won't take too terribly wrong, but since he posted on his Twitter page, actually, that if people wanted to share his stories over video or live stream or whatever, he had no problem with it. And of course, I'm not going to be monetizing this video because I'm going to read one of his stories, and that would not be in the spirit of the endeavor. So let me see here. I'm going to go to one of my... I did this a couple weeks ago, and I really like it. I really like his stuff. So let me see here. Let me go to my bookmarks. He's just a good writer. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Coraline. It's good, and the book is good too. And of course, Now that I want to do this, my bookmark has disappeared. Figures. What kind of movies do I like? I like all kinds of movies. My tastes are all over the map. One of my favorites is Titanic, because I'm a sucker for epic movies like that. Oh, thank you. My Venice Beach shirt is actually from Karina and mine's honeymoon. We went to Hollywood for our honeymoon, and we went to Venice Beach, and so she got a sweatshirt and I got a sweatshirt, and I still have mine. So genre that I love the most. That's hard. I guess probably science fiction / fantasy, I think, would be the genre that I love the most, which is kind of why I like some of Neil Gaiman's work, because he dabbles in a lot in the fantasy realm, and I mean Doctor Who. So I don't know that that's quite science fiction, though. It's more science fantasy, but love Doctor Who. And yeah, of course, now that I want to do this, I can't find the bookmark for the story I wanted to read. I will find it. I'm not going to let technology defeat me today. Not going to do it. Doctor Strange. I haven't seen Doctor Strange yet. Karina and I have a long list of movies and TV shows that we need to watch. Last night, I think it was last night, maybe the night before. Yeah, it was Saturday. We finally got around to watching the first Deadpool movie. It took us that long. Will the amazing Karina make a guest appearance? No, she is not feeling well at all today. Her Crohn's disease is in full flare. So she will not be making an appearance. She has had to take her extra medication today, and is sleeping things off in the next room because she is in a lot of pain. So no guest appearance from the Karina today. Sorry. Okay, here it is. I found it. I found the short story. Okay, this is from Neil Gaiman's book, Trigger Warning, and there is basically a section in there called A Calendar of Tales. And so he does a short story for each month of the year. And this one is just called October Tale. And it's really fun. It's a fun take on the whole genie in the lamp story trope. So this is fun. I hope you guys like this as much as I do. It's great, I think. That feels good, I said, and I stretched my neck to get out the last of the cramp. It didn't just feel good. It felt great, actually. I'd been squashed up inside that lamp for so long. You start to think that nobody's ever going to rub it again. You're a genie, said the young lady with the polishing cloth in her hand. I am. You're a smart girl, Toots. What gave me away? The appearing in a puff of smoke, she said. And you look like a genie. You've got the turban and the pointy shoes. I folded my arms and blinked. Now I was wearing blue jeans, gray sneakers, and a faded gray sweater, the male uniform of this time and this place. I raised my hand to my forehead and bowed deeply. I am the genie of the lamp, I told her. Rejoice, O fortunate one. I have it in my power to grant you 3 wishes. And don't try the I wish for more wishes thing. I won't play and you'll lose a wish. Right? Go for it. I folded my arms again. No, she said. I mean, thanks and all that, but it's fine, I'm good. Honey, I said. Toots, sweetie, perhaps you misheard me. I am a genie. And the 3 wishes. We're talking anything you want. You ever dreamed of flying? I can give you wings. You want to be wealthy, richer than Croesus. You want power? Just say it. 3 wishes. Whatever you want. Like I said, she said. Thanks, I'm fine. Would you like something to drink? You must be parched after spending so much time in that lamp. Wine? Water? Tea? Actually, now she came to mention it, I was thirsty. Do you have any mint tea? She made me some mint tea in a teapot that was almost a twin to the lamp in which I'd spent the greater part of the last 1,000 years. Thank you for the tea. No problem. But I don't get it. Everyone I've ever met, they start asking for things. A fancy house, a harem of gorgeous women. Not that you'd want that, of course. I might, she said. You can't just make assumptions about people. Oh, and don't call me Toots or Sweetie or any of those things. My name's Hazel. Ah, I understood. You want a beautiful woman, then. My apologies. You have but to wish. I folded my arms. No, she said, I'm good. No wishes. How's the tea? I told her that the mint tea was the finest I had ever tasted. She asked me when I had started feeling a need to grant people's wishes, and whether I felt a desperate need to please. She asked about my mother, and I told her that she could not judge me as she would judge mortals, for I was a jinn, powerful and wise, magical and mysterious. She asked me if I liked humans. No, whoops, sorry. She asked me if I liked hummus, and when I said that I did, she toasted a pita bread and sliced it up for me to dip in the hummus. I dipped my bread slices into the hummus and ate it with delight. The hummus gave me an idea. Just make a wish, I said helpfully, and I could have a meal fit for a sultan brought into you. Each dish would be finer than the one before, and all served upon golden plates. And you could keep the plates afterwards. It's good, she said with a smile. Would you like to go for a walk? We walked together through the town. It felt good to stretch my legs after so many years in the lamp. We wound up in a public park, sitting on a bench by a lake. It was warm, but gusty, and the autumn leaves fell in flurries each time the wind blew. I told Hazel about my youth as a djinn, of how we used to eavesdrop on the angels, and how they would throw comets at us if they spied us listening. I told her of the bad days of the djinn wars, and how King Solomon had imprisoned us inside hollow objects, bottles, lamps, clay pots, that kind of thing. She told me of her parents, who were both killed in the same plane crash, and who had left her the house. She told me of her job, illustrating children's books, a job she had backed into accidentally at the point she realized she would never be a really competent medical illustrator, and of how happy she became whenever she sent a new book to illustrate. Whenever she was sent a new book to illustrate. She told me she taught life drawing to adults at the local community college 1 evening a week. I saw no obvious flaw in her life, no hole that she could fill by wishing, save one. Your life is good, I told her, but you have no one to share it with. Wish, and I will bring you the perfect man, or woman, a film star, a rich person. No need, I'm good, she said. We walked back to her house, past houses dressed for Halloween. This is not right, I told her. People always want things. Not me, I've got everything I need. "Then what do I do?" She thought for a moment. Then she pointed at her front yard. "Can you rake the leaves?" "Is that your wish?" "No, just something you could do while I'm getting our dinner ready." I raked the leaves into a heap by the hedge to stop the wind from blowing it apart. After dinner, I washed up the dishes. I spent the night in Hazel's spare bedroom. It wasn't that she didn't want help, she let me help. I ran errands for her, picked up art supplies and groceries. On days she had been painting for a long time, she let me rub her neck and shoulders. I have good, firm hands. Shortly before Thanksgiving, I moved out of the spare bedroom, across the hall, into the main bedroom and Hazel's bed. I watched her face this morning as she slept. I stared at the shapes her lips make when she sleeps. The creeping sunlight touched her face, and she opened her eyes and stared at me, and she smiled. "You know what I never asked," she said, "is what about you? What would you wish for if I asked what your 3 wishes were?" I thought for a moment. I put my arm around her, and she snuggled her head into my shoulder. "It's okay," I told her. "I'm good." So, again, that's called October Tale, and that's from Neil Gaiman's collected work of short stories called Trigger Warning. It's a fun book. There's a lot of good stuff in there, and I highly recommend, if you're a fan of his, from anything he's done, whether it was the Sandman graphic novels or Good Omens or American Gods or anything like that. You should check it out. It's well worth it. It's definitely well worth it. So yeah, that's the end of today's weird, strange episode. Thanks for spending your Monday morning with me. Cross your fingers that the USB cable arrives in the mail today. And if it does, then tomorrow I will be putting my own spin, not exactly inspired, but it is what it is, on making pancakes from scratch, which I have never done, ever. I have made pancakes from a mix before, but I've never actually made pancakes from scratch. So I'm going to try that, and I'm going to try a couple of things along the way. So if not, I will have some backup good news stories for tomorrow, so you don't have to listen to me drone on again, reading a short story written by someone else. Anyway, that's it. Thank you again for joining me. I will be here tomorrow at 9:30 Pacific time. If you liked today's show, please come back again and maybe share the link that is up after the live stream ends with your friends. And yeah, that would be great. And I appreciate all of you. I hope everybody is doing well and that you're occupying yourself during your quarantine in positive ways, and just take care of yourself. And so until tomorrow, I'll sign off, and I'll talk to you then. Take care, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning.